Well, some of the crowd are on the pitch. Well, some of the crowd are on the pitch. They think it's all over. But it is now.
Hello, welcome to Some People Are on the Pitch 5, the football podcast, which goes over the latest Premier League news, FA Cup and various other avenues of football. I am your host, Bobby Hurst. Thank you for joining us. This could be our first live podcast, so we hope you enjoy. We've had a few practice runs, we've had some editing, and we've had some lashes from producer Paney, and we're all ready to go. Hope you enjoy it. There's also some other segments that we'll go over. Hopefully they'll be a bit funny. They might not be, but we tried. Not too hard, but the right amount. So, without further ado, let's meet the panel. I'll start as I always do at centre-back. We've got our resident angry young man. He is hotter than an Alan Pardew technical area touch map.
Ooh.
Although not at the minute. You'll be back soon, Alan. Don't worry. Angrier than a Tim Sherwood gilet discard. It's our very own Mario Samatelli, Sam Connolly. Good evening, Sam. How are you?
I'm alright. How are you, Bob?
I'm good. It's taken a while to start. A couple of takes, but I think we're ready to go.
Well,
nice.
Yeah.
Next, I move to the left wing. He's back this week after an injury layoff. He's more to the left than everything Beyonce owns in a box. It is our producer, Pain Dog Paney. Pain Dog, how are you today?
Yeah, very good. Feeling better.
Feeling better after the vets.
Fit and fighting. Yeah.
You got your collar on now?
Yeah, can't get to the wounds.
Can't get to the wounds. Very good. Nice. Finally, I move on to our star striker, fighting out of his hometown of London, and he has the only 100% record of Some People Are on the Pitch attendance, apart from myself, of course. I'm happy to report he's still the best looking man in the room.
Bring that up.
It's Barry James Band Brosnan. I'm not bad, Barry. Yeah, I've got to move on, mate.
Oh, sorry.
I've got to move on.
You just asked how everyone else was. I thought you were going to ask.
Because you're here every week. You
Take me for
you're
granted.
insignificant. Yeah, that's it.
Right,
Yeah, I just
Try having some time away. You get all the love.
You mean Kevin Nolan, Barry? I just know you'll take it, whatever. Whatever mood you're in.
What's Kevin Nolan doing?
What do you know that we don't?
Just Kevin Nolan and Allardyce. Stunning Allardyce always.
That is not an image I
Don't look at me
like.
as if I know what you're on about.
No, stop looking for Sam for acceptance.
Like Warnock and Michael Brown.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Redknapp and Defoe.
There you go.
Brendan Rodgers and everyone.
So none of you knew what I meant, but you all knew what I meant. It turns out. So
Because you explained it.
Right, we've got the Sport Relief swear box in place in case anyone swears. It's £1 a swear word. If we do swear, we're very sorry.
Sam's grassing up Barry already.
I'm grassing up Barry for...
Barry's committed his first offence for a silent one.
Silent.
But it's radio.
To us, we can see it.
Yeah, but
It offended us.
Anyway.
It offended us, Barry.
It's a quid, Barry, I'm afraid. So, we move first to Anfield, an emotionally charged Anfield for probably the game of the season so far. Certainly a very good game. It was Liverpool City. And we all saw it, boys. I'm right in assuming.
Yeah, well, yeah. I
So,
saw it.
apart from Liverpool's win, and the big headline to come out of it was Steven Gerrard's tears. Now, the first question I want to ask you, boys, is did it make you love him a bit more, or did you question it? And I think I'll start with Pain Dog.
It just felt a little premature, I think, for me, the tears. I mean, 4 games to go and there's some tough ones, Palace away, Norwich away, and Chelsea at home next week.
So,
and I just thought those tears were a bit too much.
Really?
I can understand it, though.
Yeah, I'm not saying I don't understand it, but I think it was just, you've got to control yourself a bit more.
Yeah, but Stevie Gerrard has been at Liverpool his whole life. He's won nothing apart from the Champions League.
He's won nothing apart from everything except the Premier League.
True, but that's sorry.
No, I think
you know what I mean. That's what it's been. It's almost like he's a football fan.
In my defence, I think Gerrard certainly was trying his best not to cry, wasn't he? I think that's why he
had his arm over his
He
face.
looked like he didn't want people to see that he was
The
crying.
best way to let people know that you're crying is to put your arm across his face.
It's from school. You never learn anything. Are you crying? No. No, I'm not.
Just got dusted. It's hay fever.
Barry, what did the tears do for you?
I think it's clear what the league winning the league means to Gerrard, and I think it's great because Gerrard personally is my favourite player of the Premier League.
He's one of my faves.
Yeah, and I think for the neutral, seeing Gerrard and how much he really wants he's warming to some people as well, and people are warming to him, and that they kind of want Liverpool now to win the league because. They see, and Gerrard is almost single-handedly dragging the rest of the Liverpool squad. Suarez and Sturridge, obviously. Well, there's a lot of players playing mediocre.
I think you could argue in previous years he's carried Liverpool through some pretty important
games. Do you know what? I think they've been clever as well. Because you saw the Sturridge going into the schools this week as well.
Yeah,
putting smiles on kids' faces. They're being clever with that.
Liverpool are certainly
look, because I mean, I've been to Liverpool a few times, and there's a certain energy around the whole city, and especially now with this whole title charge, and especially as it wasn't, no one ever thought they were going to be there. The way the whole city has just come together now and really getting behind the team, like what they're doing before the matches, like giving them a parade of honour on the way through the city into the ground,
pretty incredible.
Just charging the players and letting the players know that the whole city is behind them.
Was it organised by the fans?
Well, I think so, yeah, and it's happened like the last few weeks, and I think it is because that expectancy wasn't there before. Now it's just all come to life.
You can see Sterling as well because he was talking about videoing it himself. He was in the bus videoing it.
So that's got to get that, and that is why all of Liverpool's games they just come out the blocks 110%, and that's what they caught City by surprise on Sunday because City weren't ready for Liverpool, and that's from the fans because they've through the whole week the whole of Liverpool is buzzing for this, and that is coming through to the players. And so on the way to the ground, the warm up, everything is just pumping up the players and scaring the other players.
Every football club surely should be on that energy level.
Yeah, but it's harder, isn't it?
I
when
know
your
it's
team's
hard,
losing.
but if you're, it's still...
I mean, I can't say Liverpool fans have been doing that for the last 20 years.
Yeah, no, but exactly.
What I wanted to ask, sorry, Penny, is I'll ask you this. Now, you'd say Liverpool are favourites for the title. Would you agree with that?
No.
And no? Who would you say were favourites?
It's hard. It's really hard. I think there's all three are still favourites. I don't think there's one definite favourite yet. Because Liverpool got to play Chelsea still. You know, there's so many factors that are still. It's just going to run right to.
I think you've got to say Liverpool are favourites in the way that if they win all 4 games, they win the league,
and the way they're playing,
it. I think, and so the fact that they are in the lead, and if they win all 4 games, they are champions. Whereas if the other teams win all 4, they might not win the league.
It's in their hands.
So it's in Liverpool's hands, and therefore I think on that basis alone they've got to be favourites. But I agree. I still don't think Liverpool will definitely win the league. I'm not saying they won't, but I think all 3, Man City, Chelsea and Liverpool, could come out as champions this year.
But it's just every challenge that's been put in front of Liverpool. Because I was the same. I kept thinking they're going to slip up. And then every challenge that gets put before them, they keep overcoming. And people are talking about when the pressure is going to come onto Liverpool, but they keep overcoming.
And they've got the luck. Because against City, we probably should have beat them, really. And
that's one of my points was that 3 minutes before Coutinho, put the winner in, David Silva had that opportunity to put Man City ahead, and Liverpool had been under the cosh for a while, and
pretty much
this is it, because I just, and this is what I said to you, Sam, when we were watching the game, is that through the week, the pressure was on Liverpool to win. That Liverpool win, everything's in their hands. Whereas City, getting a draw wasn't such a bad thing, and I think subconsciously something was in the back of their minds, just saying that's what gave them a slow start. When they got to 2-2, I think in the back of their minds they didn't have this sort of winning mentality as they had at the start of the season, where they go out and just try and walk over teams. They were almost happy for a draw, and that was their downfall.
Hold on, Sam. We'll move on to City because I've got something to put to you, Sam, and I think Manuel Pellegrini sometimes in big games has a tendency to pick the wrong team and sometimes the wrong tactics. I think. What would you say that? Would you agree with that? Because you were poor first half, City. I thought. Well, you were blown away.
I prefer him to start Kolarov instead of Clichy as well. Because I think that gives us more options down left. I mean, I like Clichy. I think he's all right, but Kolarov this season as well is having a really good season.
Yeah.
And I think he deserves to be starting against the top clubs because they've preferred Clichy because of his defence capabilities, basically. But I suppose Navas is one of his top signings, isn't it? So he's got to play him.
Yeah,
and he is good.
So.
And he is good. And he pulls it out every now and again.
But
the only thing is what he is predictable.
He had a bit of a stinker against England's 7th left back, the flying Scouser Flanagan.
But he does the same thing. He'll do the same thing every time, and he needs to switch it up a bit. Whereas Milner, he'll come in,
bit of industry,
and because
on the right hand side.
Exactly, Flanagan will put it into him. Milner will shrug him off.
For the first time in the first half, City looked slow and laboured, whereas everyone knows that Liverpool are going to be fast and going to go straight at you.
The big problem for us is we got Zeko up front and we haven't got Aguero. We haven't got what we used to. When we won the league, we had Tevez. You know, they were runners, and we haven't got that.
This is where I think his tactics as well, because I thought Zeko played all right yesterday. I thought he'd played all right second half, some nice touches and stuff. Why did he bring Zeko off for Aguero? I would stick Aguero and Zeko on. You know what I mean? I suppose at that point it was 2-2, and it wasn't as important that, like you say, that City scored, but I was like, I'd have left him on, because then you've got Silva, Nasri and Aguero as your front three players. They're all about 4 foot. You know what I mean? For crosses, and that's what your desperate football is towards the end of the game, where you just start longing it in the box.
Very true.
Kompany, Vincent Kompany. I think I know what happened to Kompany, and it might be because I watched Spider-Man 3 last night, but I reckon, because City have got so much money, they pay the top scientists in the world, and they sat Dean Michaelis and Kompany next to each other, and he's like, Dean Michaelis' body is fine, but he's not got Kompany's brain, so he put Kompany's brain in Dean Michaelis' body, and Dean Michaelis' brain in Kompany's body, and that explains why Kompany had such a bad game. Would you agree with that? Do you think it could have happened?
I think that's foolproof.
He can easily swap it back. You know what I mean? He'll swap it back when
I think they should do so quickly.
I think that's watertight, Bobby.
I think you've nailed
it. But no, Kompany had, for Vincent Kompany's standards, he had an absolute stinker winker.
It wasn't a stinker of a game. He just had one howler.
I think you could argue he was at fault for all 3 goals at some point. Got done by Sterling. Lost Skirtle.
No, but Joe Hatch, that wasn't necessarily. I mean,
but he got done like
you got to go one way.
A kipper, mate. He got done
They both got done like Joe Hatch shouldn't have been.
Yeah. So he's 50% culpable for that goal, maybe. Lost Skirtle for the corner. Yeah,
he did lose Skirtle for the corner.
Marking Skirtle at the corner.
5 out of 10.
And the third goal, he had that wasn't his fault at all.
No, he didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, no.
That was Dean Michaelis at his finest.
So, what was it? Is it just because he was injured, or was he not prepared properly? Do you think? Yeah, he seemed up for it at the start of the game. What do we think?
There was uncertainty about him playing.
He was immobile. I think, and the thing is, with an injury, he might have been physically all right, but twisting your knee the day before and then training of doing the warm up on his own before the match, he's just putting a mental doubt in his own head as well, and the other players. There's just a seed of doubt, and that was what everyone was talking about before the game.
But it was still brilliant in other parts. I mean, he cut out loads of passes. Fair enough, he lost Skirtle, but I don't think that was necessarily his fault. I mean, that's just.
But I just think like that the third goal especially. What was it? Was it his left knee? I think it was.
No, it was his right.
Was it his right knee?
He went for his
it
right.
just looked like
for the laces.
that third goal, just like, and he would do it normally. He'd hit it back where it comes from, but he's tried to be too clever and turn out, and he's just sort of the way his body was facing. His body was facing out of the pitch, while the ball was coming across him. That's what he's just tried to swipe it, completely missed it. Whereas I think a fully mobile, 100% fit, 100% right is trying to just stick it back where it comes from.
Maybe he's literally tried to just turn laces clean Glory,
but he
glory
should have
claims.
sent it back where it came from.
On the other side of the good game, bad game coin, we have Raheem Sterling. You're a very young man who had a very good game, especially first half.
19 years old.
I don't think there's any denying he had a really good game, so I won't ask you to talk about that too much, because I don't think there's much we can add to it. He had a good game. Would you start him in that position for England, behind the two strikers in the
Top of the
middle?
diamond.
This is it.
The tip of the diamond.
If England, could have the same flexibility as Liverpool, Sterling could play in that central position, but we don't. So he has to play wide, and that was where he'll be
Are
most
England
dangerous.
going to play in a diamond for
No,
starters?
that's what I mean. England can't.
Like-
England haven't got the flexibility as Liverpool have. So Sterling will be more dangerous out wide.
Sam?
I'm with Barry.
I
He
thought,
makes a good point.
I had to think about it. I thought maybe not for Italy, because Italy are quite defensively good counter-attacking team, but for Uruguay, I think the best way of beating Uruguay is not let them
Attack.
give it to Suarez and
Just swallow your voice then.
Just stick 8 strikers up front and go, just make sure you score more goals. I don't know. So no, we won't play you there, Raheem, I'm afraid. Good game, that's probably your best position, but you're not going to play there for England, unfortunately. Now,
The jury has spoken.
that's that.
Sorry.
No mention of Coutinho?
Nah.
No?
No, good. Alright. Maybe you want to mention Coutinho, mate, you mention him.
Well, I thought
said-
I thought he had a fantastic game, and I think one of the things that he needed to work on after his season last year was scoring more goals, shooting. He looked good
The old
last
Paul
year.
Ince
but-
adage.
Yeah, but he just, his finishing wasn't there, and I think this year he's not there yet, I don't think, but he's definitely improved
Yeah,
a lot.
It's
And
great pass
and
with the ball. isn't
he's still very young, and I think it's strange that he's not even going to get a look in for the World Cup. And I thought he was one of the best players on the pitch, and Fernandinho, who plays for City, is probably going to go to the World Cup for Brazil. And I thought Coutinho was.
Paulinho,
He's a great season though, Fernandinho.
No, he has, but I don't
think
think.
Different kind of players though. Fernandinho's defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
You think Paulinho will go, though, and maybe, Paulinho and...
Were you going to take
Say
Paulinho over
Coutinho.
Coutinho?
I'd say Coutinho might bring you a bit more, but they've got Oscar in that position as well, and he's sort of the...
Yeah.
Anyway, the World Cup will come later, because right now we're going to move on to Chelsea, and of course we could talk about Chelsea, but that'd be quite boring, so we'll talk about Jose Mourinho instead, because Chelsea only won 1-0. But that was a good result for Chelsea. I mean, keeps them in the race, clean sheet, all of it. But I want to start with Mourinho, and I want to go back to last week and get all your opinions on the old touchline, running the length of the field to tell the team tactics. For me, what he failed to realise is that once you've scored, you have to come back to the halfway line, Josie. You know what I mean? You can tell them when they come back. But did anyone else think it was?
Just don't all the managers say, go through the scenarios and say, listen, if we get in this scenario and we score, I want X, Y, and Z to happen. And they're surely doing that in the days leading up to their prep, going through scenarios. Right, if we go 1-0 up, we've got to do this. If we go 2-0 up or 2-1 up, this is what we've got to do. Surely they went through this scenario and said, if this happens, I want you to do this
They
and
did.
you to do
They
that.
did, didn't they? He said that's what they did in training. But he also said that he doesn't have any strikers. So I think that just shows how much trust he has in Torres and Barr. Is that as soon as they scored, Mourinho's just gone, they won't remember what we've done in training. We do all this shooting practice. They don't remember that. They're not remember for me to say, get back and
I
defend.
think Torres looked sort of annoyed as well. Tried not to because he knew there was a camera on him, but body language was like, "Oh, cheers for running."
The thing that I don't get about Mourinho is all these other clubs. You know, you've had players crying and stuff about him leaving, and because Mourinho's protected him from the media. That's been his main thing, hasn't it? Mourinho makes it.
Well,
makes
it's always about Mourinho.
Yeah, makes a tit of himself because, and he protects his players. But I don't see why he'd come out and publicly have a go at his strikers.
Well, they're pretty bad.
Yeah, I know, but
Demba Ba's not even had a chance.
I know, Demba
Barry-
Ba must be sitting there at home going, what do I have to do?
Well, a couple of weeks ago, Barry, you called for Demba Ba to get a run in the team. He's had a bit of a run in the team too.
Scoring.
Just came on and scored at the midweek. A very important goal. Scored another important goal at the weekend. I felt I've got the headline. Everything is blue at Chelsea. Even the interview with Demba Ba, he was like, "Yeah, I scored. Yeah, it's been a bit rubbish."
Because Mourinho's having a go at him.
It was the saddest winning goal interview I've ever seen from a footballer.
Just got his team into a semi-final of the Champions League.
Demba Ba must have had one of the best weeks of his life, and he was like, "Oh, I know."
I want to play some more.
Very sad. John Terry, little Jedi mind trick, or was it a red card? Did he Darren Brown him, as Mr. Pain Dog said?
It was a second yellow, but it's sort of like, you know, he was. I don't know why he needed to think about it so long, let alone wait for John Terry to come up and go, "I think that was a second yellow card." Like,
I'm thinking about it, John.
yeah. At least you can see when he came up to him on the replays that you can see him saying, "I'm thinking about it. Leave me alone."
I ran up to the ref and just told him, "I've got your wife's number."
I know where your wife
I'm
is.
thinking about it.
And I'm suspended next week.
Yeah. Mourinho didn't do the post game.
No, he's not talking to the press.
Not talking to the press at the
Why
moment.
was
He
that?
sent
I
out-
think it's because his strikers had such a bad day that they're all going to go, "Come on, talk. Your strikers were bad today, Josie, weren't there?" And he's like, "Can I hang them out to dry again when confidence is this low?" I mean, Eto he struggled to kick the ball.
Yeah.
Let
He
alone
should have had a
shoot.
few, shouldn't he?
And now it's time for a little Bobby challenge, because I want to make a little argument. And the argument is this: are Aston Villa the most irrelevant Premier League team of this season? And this is a little quiz we're going to play. Get your pens down, we're going to make quick notes. I'm going to talk while you're making notes.
Go on.
Apart from the 1-0 win against Chelsea, how many Aston Villa wins can you tell me about this season?
Oh, shit.
Off you go.
Was that
Swear box.
Swear box.
Swear
Swear box.
There's a first.
He's always good for a quid a week at least, isn't he?
It's the Sport Relief Fund ticking over. I'm going to give you not many more seconds, because obviously this is a radio/podcast, so no one can see you making notes, but I'm going to fill it with some beautiful northern dulcet tones. It was a lovely day today outside. I think
What was the example you gave?
Chelsea, when they lost to Chelsea,
Alright.
when they won against Chelsea rather, 1-0, Delph, that back flick thing. How many more wins?
I think I can do maybe 2.
I haven't actually.
I've got.
I'll push the boat out. I'll go for 3. Have you even got the
I have.
results?
As it happens.
Have you?
Yeah. Got the wins here.
Let's have a look.
Have you actually?
Do we have to get the right score?
No, you don't have to. Well, maybe. We'll see how you
Right
go.
score? Well, I'll have a go at that.
Right.
He's even more confident.
I'm going to get
Higher or lower, isn't it?
Yeah.
everyone. You need to be concentrating, because you've got 10 more seconds, 9 more.
Oh, I can't think of any more.
I can't remember what I did last week, Bobby.
I've got 3 and they're not definites, that's for sure.
Right, time's up.
Yeah.
Sam, how many Villa wins have you got this season that you can remember? Apart from the one
that's
against
been-
Chelsea.
Wins. Right.
Stop writing, buddy.
They beat Cardiff.
No, he's just making it up.
No, I'm not.
The
I
beat
wrote it
Cardiff.
down.
Read. Wait, did the beat Cardiff? I don't know how you read across for home game. Help us out here, Barry.
Sorry, listeners.
Bobby's not brought his
Cardiff.
glasses.
Bobby-
And Aston Villa.
2-0.
Was that? Alright, yeah. So Aston Villa beat Cardiff 2-0.
Well, there you go. You
Boom!
read that long just to find it
One.
out.
1.
That's what he's written down.
Yeah, I've got Cardiff. Hang on.
It's like countdown.
West,
that's it, that's
West
it.
Brom. West Brom.
West Brom, let's have a look.
All right.
It's like countdown. You've got to have it written down and pass it over to
It
have
was
it
a draw.
verified.
Oh no, I found it again. So 1-0
That's Aston Villa at home.
home games, across for home games. So they beat Cardiff 1-0 at home and drew 0-0. So yeah, that's
Said West
one.
Brom.
So that's 2.
No, he's just one. I've just worked out how this works now. West Brom 2, and then they've not played West Brom again. So no, not West Brom.
Not West Brom.
So 1. You've got 1.
One.
Barry,
They beat Arsenal 3-1 the first game of the season.
correct.
Yeah, I've got that one.
That's 1.
That's what I've got.
Pain Dog.
we can't remember our
They
own
beat
seat.
Fulham. I think it was 2-1.
They did beat Fulham. Where's the other one?
This is scintillating at radio.
Yeah. Bad idea.
And they also beat Norwich in a 4-3 score.
We've proved your point.
Prove my point. Aston Villa don't win much. When they do win, you've got no idea. You don't remember, except if they're playing Chelsea. Then you do. Anyway, point proven. Now, let's move to the bottom of the table and the relegation fight, which hotted up over the weekend with wins for Fulham and Cardiff. We previously wrote off Fulham and Cardiff, said they couldn't do it, couldn't stay up, were doomed. More doomed than, I don't know, something that's really doomed.
The game.
The game doom than the Rock in Doom. But are they still doomed? Do we think Fulham and Cardiff will escape now? Norwich's running's horrible. And they're 2 points ahead of the relegation zone.
I think...
Yeah, sorry, go on.
I think Fulham have got a chance, and I think it's at the expense of Norwich. I can't see Norwich.
I'm on the same wavelength as
Norwich.
It's basically...
In my notes, I've got Fulham/Norwich.
Yeah, I think Cardiff are still down.
Sit on the fence.
You look at Norwich's last few games, and not only that, they've proved it this week as well. They just can't score, whether it be just unlucky or whatever. Like
Stockdale was all over the goal.
It was like so. Like they could have won that game.
Yeah,
And God knows what they're doing sacking the manager.
Well, yeah, I know. But like you look at their goal scorers: Gary Hooper 5, Snodgrass 5, Leroy Fur 3, Bradley Johnson 3.
When have you done all these notes on Norwich, Penny? Norwich notes. I'm impressed.
I couldn't wait to talk about Norwich.
No one, and not only that. I mean, you've got no one who's scoring goals except for 5 for a midfielder of like lower
That's
team.
the top scorer, 5.
Equal top scorer, Gary
Really?
Hooper 5 in the league.
He cost 5 million as well, didn't he?
Who's
$1 million a goal.
Yeah,
Gary Hooper, yeah.
$1 million a goal.
It's not great. They've got no goals, but not only that, they've got Becchio somewhere in that football club.
Luciano Becchio.
Can't even get a game when they can't score, which must mean, how bad's he playing in training?
He must be playing pretty bad not to get
He's not even getting a look
Not even
in.
in the squad.
So we're saying Norwich. We said West Brom were the other team we wrote off, and West Brom would have won they won the last 2 games had they not had injury time. They've got City away, West Ham at home, Arsenal away, Sunderland at home, and Stoke away. I think there's games in there that'll probably you've got to be looking to be.
Well, this is it. I mean, like I'm looking at now about 37 points will keep you up,
Which is low for...
which is like 37 is kind of average now. Like if people get to the 40-point mark is
Safe.
what they go for. But
That's the
37,
target, yeah,
37 will keep you up. But that 37 will be 17th place. Goal difference will keep you up. That sort of margin. But I think West Brom, what are they on 33? So they need another
West Brom
4
are on
points.
33 points.
Yeah, so they need another 4 points, and you've got to look now. Who's got a bit of confidence? Who's feeling the pressure of relegation? And you just think West Brom's performances.
Well,
They're
they're
giving a few
scoring
goals
goals.
away. Yeah, that was their problem before, and that was when I said the teams that will go down are the teams that can't score goals, and Sunderland aren't scoring, and Cardiff aren't scoring. And they're the teams that I think definitely going to go down. Fulham, some of their midfielders have started... Well, they're keeping clean sheets.
Holtby as well. I like the look of Lewis Holtby.
Fulham, the secret weapon, he's done it before. Noriega. Wigan, when he kept him up pretty much.
Oh, yeah, he did.
With,
That was his first goal last week.
yeah, it was.
Season.
He's sort of come back into the squad and he's bagged 2 in 2.
Yeah.
He was looking
Was it
for
Noriega at the end? Did he miss a set at the end? Or was that...
No, that was
He put
Diago.
someone through, didn't he?
the move
Yeah.
like the Jagger.
Moves like the Jaguar.
But you're right about Rodiega there, and it looks like Felix has finally found that striker he's been searching
His
for.
first Premier League team to use more than 38 players in a season.
Fulham have had striker
Really?
idol
Yeah.
all season, haven't they? You could be a striker for Fulham. So we're saying, we think Sunderland are down now. Listen, I'll
Look
give
at
you.
like I said, Sunderland.
Give me Sunderland, Barry.
If you need 37 points to stay up, Sunderland have got 25, so they need 13 points. They've got City, Chelsea, and United away, and then Cardiff, West Brom, and Swansea at home. So to get 13 points, they need to win all their home games against relegation rivals. That's 9 points. and need to get something from 2 of the games at City, Chelsea, or United away.
So when we started,
Sunderland are down.
So when we started 6 weeks ago, it was Fulham, Cardiff, and West Brom. Now we're saying Sunderland, Cardiff still.
Yeah.
Even though they killed accumulators all around the country.
But they've got 3 points coming off Chelsea, haven't they?
and they've got 3 points coming on the last day of the season against
They're in the
Chelsea.
bank. You may as well add them.
Exactly.
So Cardiff need 8 points. They've got 29. And they've got Stoke at home, Sunderland away, Newcastle away, Chelsea
Stoke
at
is
home.
still playing as well. Mark Hughes wants to make a point. He's a man on a mission.
So that means they need to win 2 and 2 draws out of the last 4. And they haven't done that all season. So
Fair enough.
Suddenly do it now.
It's not going to happen. Maybe not. Anyway, now it's time for everybody's famous segment, invented by Penny, I might add. he stressed earlier. It's we've got a sound effect. Here it comes.
Ready?
Ready? It's this week's Frank the Plank, sponsored by Colo Torre. And
Can
then
you have one in the background?
no, please,
It's
no.
finished. It's finished.
In Frank the Plank, the basis is each of my panellists give me a nomination of who is the biggest plank of the week, and I decide who's best. Now,
Who have we had so far?
who have we had so
Demi
far? It's a
Michaelis.
good question. Previous winners have been
The inaugural
Michaelis,
winner was Di Michaelis.
Amor Ribiata.
Amar Biriata won, and then who was it?
I don't know. Anelka.
Anelka.
Anelka,
Anelka won it. Won, and then last week it was John Terry versus.
Who's it?
You were John Terry, and Sam was Fellaini, and Fellaini won it hands down.
Yeah.
So this week, without further ado, we're going to start with you, Sam, because you won last week.
Yeah.
Who's your nomination this week?
Well, I feel like Judas, but it's going to be Company.
Company.
I know.
Oh, Sam.
I know.
That's
But then I
you've
was
had
going to
both
change it
centre-backs.
to go to Suarez. I know.
You've had
I can't
both.
give
You've
it-
had both of
I
your
can't-
team's
I can't
centre
give it
backs.
Company.
Yeah.
But then I was going to give it to Naismith as well.
Oh, for that miss.
For those both 2 misses. He missed an open net at one point.
Oh, I didn't see that one. I saw the
He missed
first
an open
one.
net. Keeper came out ahead of it, and it was out on the 18-yard box. But I reckon Barry would have put it in.
I did
No,
put
it's good,
Naismith in my fantasy football team this weekend as well. Vision.
So what do you reckon?
So who do you want?
Yeah, I
Because
was gonna
Sam's
say.
already gunning for
Well,
Naismith.
you've already said. You just said. Company.
Come on, Company.
I'm not going to use Company. Can I use? Do I?
It's too late now. I have to go with your first answer.
Yeah.
Chris, first. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
that's
sorry, Vincent Company. I still love you. I think you're amazing.
Sorry, Vinny.
He
Sam's
did
just
have a mare.
hung his second Man City centre back out to dry this season.
He's only done it because after he did
But-
Di Michaelis, he went on a 3-game resurgent
exactly.
streak.
Yeah,
Kim
exactly.
Michaelis was good yesterday.
He even scored.
It was good.
He's even got on a score sheet. So, Frank the Plank's, you know what I mean? You might think people it destroys their confidence. On the contrary,
Brings it
Right.
it brings it up. So, Pain Dog, you've had a week off
Yeah.
from Frank the Plank.
Well, as you know, most people's obvious Frank the Plank, Vincent Company, what an air kick. But
We did
Me-
kick it, to be fair.
for me, it's the Norwich City Football Club board
Go on.
and Delia Smith. I mean,
That's quite a big plank we're going to have to...
they
Yeah, we-
admirably
get
stuck
some
with
nails.
Chris Hughton through quite a lot. And, you know, we always say in football nowadays that they're too quick to sack them.
We are a fan of sticking with your manager here at some people on the
But
pitch.
Yeah.
when you do sack them, don't do it before the biggest game of your running against your
Closest
closest relegation rival for the under-18 coach, Delia Smith's favourite player, Neil Adams. I mean, I don't know what they were thinking. I mean,
Well, you know what they were thinking. They were thinking that they were going to change the manager and they were going to have that resurgence and they were going to go on a winning run and stay up.
it wasn't like they
It's
were bringing
backfired.
someone in from outside and it was going to be this big boost.
They weren't
It was,
doing a
yeah.
cameo.
it wasn't anything like it was Neil Adams coming from the. I mean, all the players are going to. He was managing the under-18s last week.
Yeah.
Was he, what,
Well, it didn't
what
work
are they
out
doing?
for him. And whatever it did, they look like enormous tools.
Planks.
They look like planks. And, well,
That's the planks. That's a big.
strong argument from Pain Dog as he
That's
returns.
more than one plank though.
I know, but I still liked it. And I'm the judge. So,
Delia Smith's heading up the consortium.
Yeah, a Delia Smith consortium of planks. It's one of them rubbish wooden huts, but just has wind blowing through it. Anyway, Barry, it's not over yet.
Two good suggestions.
Thank you.
I'm going to go with the Wigan Athletic manager,
Uwe Rosler.
Oh,
Sam's ears have pricked.
For just such an appalling choice of penalty takers.
It's true.
Why pick Gary Caldwell to be your first penalty taker?
He's not played for 15 months.
He hasn't played for 15 months. I think he had about 3 touches of the ball, and then you send him up to take a penalty. I don't think he's even taken a penalty in his life.
Jordi Gomez scored a penalty in the game.
Exactly, and he's clearly their best penalty taker. They've got some assured footballers in that team, and none of them came up and took a penalty.
You don't know how many of them said they didn't want to take a penalty.
Yeah,
I won't blame Rosser. He got him a draw. He got him to the penalties.
Beat City, got them to the penalties.
Beat City.
As I said, though, you don't know which players.
That was weeks ago.
It's a Man City
We're doing Frank LePlank from weeks ago.
True.
We're doing Frank LePlank this week,
True.
and I'm doing it for his suggestion of awful penalty takers.
Okay.
Barry's very much a man in the present.
Yeah.
Well, wow. What good arguments, lads. Good arguments. Company, I can't believe it, Sam. I don't know if I can give it to Company just because.
Please don't. No, you
Yeah,
can't.
no,
Actually,
no.
do it. Do it.
He's a we are walking contradictions today. But it's not. I think I'm going to get it to Payne Dog.
You just dressed him down earlier on.
He's
Dressed him down.
I said he'd had his brain swapped with Dee Michaelis. It was all a mad experiment gone wrong, honest, in my opinion.
Anyway.
Payne Dog's going to win. He's never won before. He had a week off. He's come up. He's fought a bit outside of the box and collected a consortium. So this week's Frank the Plank winner is the Norwich City board headed by Delia Smith.
Well,
Payne, how do you think after your first Frank the Plank win?
It's good, especially as it was Norwich that are nominated. Leeds United B team.
Yeah, that's true.
I look forward to playing them next year.
It all links back to
Well,
Leeds.
not me personally,
Right.
but I look forward to watching.
We're
Leeds
going to move
play.
on to our next segment now, which is a fairly new segment to hear on Some People on the Pitch, and of course it's spanking brand new to you people here. But at centre back we've got he's a simple man with simple needs. It's time for Sam's Things.
There we go.
Sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows, everything that's wonderful is what I feel.
So, Sam, you're a simple man with simple needs. Yeah?
Yeah.
You think about football all the time?
Sometimes.
Not always coherently.
After putting one foot in front of the other.
And remembering to breathe. It's third. Come on, it was not. What are your things for this week?
Cheers, lads. It's
Yeah.
the first one that's going live. I am the dunce of it all. What?
Never mind. You're not. But
Sam's things.
Sam's things. What are your things this week, Sam?
One of my things. Well, do you know when you're watching football
I do.
Yeah.
and do you know when that happens?
It's happened to me once or twice.
Once or twice. So when you see tricks, what I'm talking about is in Europe, there are they'll show replays of them doing tricks during the game live. They'll do quick bit of Ronaldo doing a bit of step overs, the flip flap. In England, the flip flap.
How do you do the flip flap?
It's a
The
well-known
flip-flap.
trick. It's up there with the.
I'll show you.
No, don't show us the flip flap. It won't
flip
work.
flap. Right,
We
anyway,
work that out with
so
the Villa notes.
in England, I don't think that penny's off. I think he's lost some.
Sam,
It's
the
lost
tricks,
his temper.
please.
Sam's things.
So
Don't
keep
worry
focus.
So they don't show it in England. I think as a kid, if you're watching the games and you see what are you doing, and if you see the tricks like on replay, I think it will give them more of a to go down into the park or when you go to training and leave it and I'm getting angry with you now. It's my segment. Peeing around over there.
He's trying to sabotage Sam's things.
It's not his own segment.
Passive aggression. Anyway,
So
please,
yeah,
I'm listening to
so
your
I think
things.
they should,
I want to know what you think.
I think you should install that into the English media and get them to replay the tricks because I think I think it'd just be more
So
entertaining.
what is in there?
Just a little flash.
What's in
So
there
that-
in Premier League coverage? What are they showing in? Are they just not showing tricks?
They're
Are
just
there
not
as
showing it.
many?
You have to wait till Soccer AM on a Saturday morning.
I think that's a good point.
You know,
I think Sky personally are too busy showing them David Attenborough super slow mo replays.
exactly. And all
You
you
know
need
what
is
I mean?
one person in a room looking out for tricks. I could do it.
Trick
We could-
cam.
I'm
Trick cam.
Sky. I'm available on Saturdays sometimes.
Not on
All
Monday
times.
evenings though.
Not
So
on Monday
That's
evenings.
good.
calm
No,
down,
it's true.
Sky.
It's true. Because I know when I watch Showboat on a Soccer AM, it was like you watch it on a Saturday morning, and then you go out and play on a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, and you'd go, oh yeah, see Ronaldo did X trick,
Yeah.
and then you go out and you sort of try it. Where I think if it was
one of
more
my
of a
favourite
constant
things,
feed
definitely.
during
When I
matches. So
used-
people say, "Oh, just do a slow mo of a trick." People go, "Oh yeah." The kids would go out and have a kick about after the game and go, "Oh yeah." I'll
It's
do
because
a
all
storage trick or
all
do
the
this."
cameras are trained on Tim Sherwood's Gillet now. There's too many cameras facing him.
Stop showing us the Gillet. Start showing us some
More
tricks.
tricks.
Yeah.
More tricks.
What else have you got for Sam's things? Sam?
Well, I've got a couple of things. You know what? That really grinds my gears and that should be out. And it happened at Liverpool as well.
Go
the
on.
weekend. The European whistling during games.
Oh,
Reed.
when the other team have got the ball.
Get out.
What's wrong with that?
What do you mean? What's wrong with that? As a neutral, when I'm watching, I just can't stand it.
I know what
And
you
it
mean.
just annoys
Any
me.
piercing noise.
What do you hate worse, the whistling or the vuvuzelas of the 2010 World
They're
Cup?
both as bad as each other. The
I
whistling,
don't-
it's just. I think it's a
Those
unsportsmanship.
vuvuzelas were pretty
yeah,
bad.
Obviously, yeah.
Are they as bad as the vuvuzelas? The
No, the
whistles?
Vuvuzelas are bad, but
No, I think it's just. I
I think it's good.
No, it's unsportsmanship, and it's not. It's just
Unsportsmanship.
horrible
Like,
to
we're in the
listen
home
to.
ground, so you've got to do anything you can to put
Got to
off the
make
away
it
team.
cauldron,
But
Sam.
you're watching. I'd be annoyed. Do it if I went.
Exactly,
to,
so
if I was
the
a
away
football
team are annoyed,
No,
so they're going to lose the ball.
I'm talking about. I'd be annoyed if I was the one doing it.
Doesn't
I'm
take
right.
much to get you annoyed, Sam.
I'm like, what am I doing? It's just stupid and rubbish, and get it out.
Sam's things. What's
Yeah.
next?
What else is that?
Don't use them all this week.
Hey?
You got next week too.
No, there's something new every week in Sam's things.
Short corners. Corners.
Corners.
Cornettos, apparently. Short corners. What's the point?
What's the point in short corners?
Yeah, they never work.
Never ever work.
Never work.
Never work.
They've never
once.
worked
Never
ever.
work once.
You've never seen a short corner work. Can we think
Oh.
of an example of a short
Well,
corner?
they don't.
work?
I mean, they
You
just.
do it to keep the ball.
Hey?
You do it to keep the ball.
90th
Why
minute,
do you need
keep
to keep, I
ball.
don't agree with that either.
Yeah,
What,
I
keeping
think
the ball?
No, I think that should be banned. It's
What?
cheating.
No,
What,
no,
keeping
see, like,
the ball?
Barcelona.
Yeah, no, not a keeping the ball like Barcelona. I think you mean 94th minute,
Yeah.
going into the corner and just
if you try-
standing
yeah,
there like a
exactly.
How's it cheating?
Well, that's a
How's
short
it
corner.
cheating?
Back to short corners though. If you it never goes near the box.
Yeah, it does. You take a short corner, you do a couple of passes to get inside
Whip
the box.
it in.
It's like if you haven't got a tall team, then you have to pass it into the
Yeah.
box. There's
Yeah,
no
but
point
what-
crossing it in if you're always going to... There'll be a team that doesn't cross because they know they're always going to lose the ball. So they're not going to do a corner.
I just don't like it.
But you don't score from like long corners every time.
You do.
Every time.
Every single time.
If Zeko's on the end of it.
You do if Skirtle's playing City.
Yeah.
But,
Sam's
you know,
things.
Sam's things.
Anything else?
Well,
we've had a few Sam's things.
fans.
Fans, he doesn't like you, all of you. Get out.
Ban 'em!
Bad fans who know
fans.
nothing about. And we had and at the pub.
I know there's
At the
at
pub.
least 3 or 4 of them sat here right now.
True. But at the pub, I was watching the football with a very, multicultural, established
With our orange juices.
with our orange juices, and there was a Liverpool fan, not naming any names, but he was getting a lot of people's goat up because he knew the first line of every song,
Yeah.
nothing else.
Oh, I
is
didn't
usually
didn't like
Liverpool.
this man either.
No,
Yeah, I know you're
he
talking
was a
about
bit
it.
of a nightmare.
Producer Payne is...
If you're going to talk about football, you've got to at least know. But you don't have to know everything about football. You just got to be.
Well, give us
it's
an
just
example of what was he saying? I wasn't invited, so...
Sort of the
I
thing,
don't
like.
know.
I mean, when you're in the same kind of, we're mates. We're all mates as well.
Yeah.
I'm not really his mate. But if Liverpool score, you don't run into someone else's face. You hardly know
Was this you?
No, this is him.
That was him.
Yeah, but he ran into your face.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. I held it in. I held it in.
You did?
I held it in. That was exactly.
Wow.
Richard, I was too busy. There's some old geezers down there as well. They were giving us
Someone else giving you stick somewhere
There was
else.
someone else giving us, that's and the fact that we've got a very. I won't mention any names, but we've got a friend who's an Arsenal fan, and he was watching the semi-final, and Barry was watching it with him.
Yeah.
Who is a Spurs fan, and Barry was watching the Arsenal game.
Yeah.
But
He was watching videos on YouTube.
Was watching videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
But then still thinks he's a better fan than everyone else.
Yeah.
So someone can
Deluded.
shout in your face and get in your face as long as they know about football. That's what you're saying.
No, that was just annoying.
I actually got in a bit of a disagreement with the same guy, I think it was, about that Suarez. I was like, it's just you're one of the best strikers in the world at the moment, and you'd given it all this theatrics when he went down on the edge of the box from that challenge, which the match of the day said there was contact and circled it and made it large, and it was sort of, if at best, like a minimal touch. It was, and he went down like he'd been sniped. Yeah. I was like, and I said at the time, I said, it's just no need. If there is contact, just go down. You don't need to give it the whole roly-poly, my leg's broken. And I said, talking, it raises a bit of an issue. And I was sort of saying, maybe you could look at doing retrospective punishments for diving and things like that.
Like
and
a dunce hat in the corner.
And you'd go back and
fight.
say, you'd get a retrospective yellow card, say, which would attribute to one of your 5. If you get, you get 5 yellow cards, you get banned. I mean, not necessarily a ban, but an accumulated yellow card. I was talking in the pub, but this guy was just like, oh no, he's got to go down. He's been, taken out. I'm like, he's been touched. He's gone down. Like it was annoying.
And I thought Match Today were wrong about the Suarez one with the company. I don't know.
He definitely is invested in some Man United Raphael good luck rub at the weekend. Raphael's the master of not getting sent off when he should get sent off every week usually.
Well, that's the end of
Bad fans.
Sam's things anyway.
Bad fans.
Bad fans, and that brings an end to Sam's things. And now it's time for me.
Music at the end.
Nah, scrap the music. You've got another one to line up
Oh, yeah.
because it's time for me to take my presenter's hat off, pass it to Barry. I'm going to put Barry's panelist cap on, and we're going to try out Barry's.
Listeners don't know if we've actually got caps.
Yeah, you get a cap every time you're on some people on the pitch.
Yeah.
I get an embroidered cap for each of the members of my panel.
I'm most capped pundit.
Barry's got the most caps, so you can borrow. You don't need to borrow mine.
Thanks.
So come on, Barry! It's Barry's competition, sponsored by Tim Sherwood's Gillette.
I brought my own music as well.
We'll play it then.
Well, it's taken a while to start up.
Buffering. Hate that word. Buffering. Worst word in the English language.
Shirley, Lincoln,
I missed the name game. There we are.
Put it on again in case I didn't hear. I'll just give him the name game again.
There we go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, now it's to my segment of the show. And this is because of Hull City's rejection of a name change happening this week. So I've decided to ask my fellow pundits, friends, their best, worst team name. So we've got Hull City. They've had their name rejected, wanting to be called the Hull Tigers. It's very Americanized. So I wanted to get your thoughts and what your best worst team name could be, and then I'm gonna tell you some of the best names internationally of club teams and see how they compare. So let's go to I'll go in the round. Let's go to Pain Dog first.
Ooh. Well, I think as a fan of a team, it's always kind of annoying because your name is part of your history. So there was Red Bull who bought out what was it, that Russian team, wasn't it? Was it in Russia? Salzburg or something like that. Anyway, and they completely changed the name to the Red Bull something and others.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like anything like that. So that's a pretty bad name, and that's actually real. But you've got to also. I just also think this whole thing of like Americanizing and franchising it is terrible. And actually, most names sound rubbish when you do it. I mean, let's have the Tottenham Hotspurs coming out to the Red Devils. It sounds terrible already. You don't need to change the
You
names.
can't have a go at my team in my segment.
Can always do that. Barry.
What is a Hotspur?
It's like a fork.
Is it?
It's like a fork.
What, that you've warmed up if you're going to torture someone or
Yeah,
something?
yeah,
I'll give you some of this Hotspur.
Yeah, they
I
just,
thought-
they just
is it?
torture the fans.
Like a trident?
Yeah.
I always thought it was like the night spurs. You know, on your boots, like cowboys.
That's called stirrups.
We digress.
Anyway.
So I've got to come up
So you have a
with
Red Bull Salzburg.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, it'd be terrible.
Yeah,
I mean,
it'd
it'd be like
a
some.
sponsored tea.
Yeah, because there was talk of Red Bull taking over Leeds before we'd just been bought out by this nice Italian man. And
Leeds Red Bull United.
yeah, can you imagine if they came in and just called it Leeds Red Bull, like Sporting Red Bull United? Like it's not.
No.
Yeah, it's not.
Move
Not
on.
on.
Yeah. Go on then. Sam?
I think I'll just go for my brother's team when he used to play for when he was a kid. 3D Dynamos. Doesn't it remind you of the Renford Rejects?
3D Dynamos.
Maybe it's because it consists of the three villages, Delft, Dobcross and Denshaw. So the 3D
That makes
Dynamos.
sense.
It kind of makes sense. You have
But
to do
I
a long
just thought-
explanation to figure it out.
Yeah, but it was...
Was each home
it's
game
still
held
a
in-
terrible name, isn't it? I mean, compared to...
Was each home game held in like alternative dates in the village? Like they went around all three of the
It should have been,
Ds.
no, it wasn't. No, it was
Then they should have just named it after the one that was
the
home
home
game.
matches were in Upper Mill, I think, though. Controversy.
That's nice. So 3D Dynamos. That's pretty terrible.
There you go.
Go on then. Bobby?
I think really something insensitive, like maybe not to start, but like Milan Mafioso. You know, like something awful. Yeah, maybe Milan Mafioso.
Milan Mafioso.
Might be
Does Berlusconi still own them?
probably Berlusconi's tax break.
Yeah.
Milan. AC
Milan
Berlin.
Bunga Bunga.
Yeah, Milan, AC Bunga Bunga. That's mine. AC Bunga Bunga.
AC Bunga Bunga. Well, this brings me on because I've done a search of some of the best international club names from around the world. So let me give you a few tasters of the ones I've found.
You've got to get a mention in for Lucas Radaby's old team, surely.
There's a few. There is a very interesting South African team name. Which these are all real, by the way, listeners. So I don't want anything coming back to me. All right? These are all genuine football teams.
It's all right, mate.
from
We
around
haven't
the
put out
world.
an email
Okay?
address.
I'm going to start off nice. There's a team in Scotland called the Civil Service Strollers. They're quite nice. There's a team in Bolivia.
Are these all professional?
These, yeah. Professional, semi-professional we're going for. So Civil Service Strollers, they're East of Scotland outfit.
Nice.
Then in Bolivia, there's the Club Destroyers, based in Santa Cruz.
Away at Destroyers.
And there's a team in Peru, and this is a Peruvian team name, so I don't want to be putting money in the swear box for this one. But there's a genuine team name.
Barry, you're gonna have to lose your swear box cherry if you wanna. If
It's
you wanna
worth
swear,
it.
mate.
He's
It's
lost
worth
it
it.
already.
It's worth it. We're going to have to put in another £1 for this one because there's a team from Peru called Deportivo Wanka.
Is there really?
Wanka.
Oh dear.
Oh, God.
What does wanker mean in Peruvian?
I don't know, but I think we should stop saying it.
Yeah.
It's probably the name of the town, isn't it?
And there's a little
There's,
round for me.
There's a real name. There's a real name. There's a team in Norway called FL Fart.
That's a good one.
You could have gone with that one, Barry. I'd have much preferred you said that one. Anyway, Barry, I think that was the name game.
That's the end of the name game.
They might have played at night.
Yeah.
That's a genuine team
They
name.
played at
Night.
night. Let's go with that.
Team name.
Now
Search for it on Google.
it's time for our last segment and possibly my favourite producer,
Payne's
Payne,
gone mental
has
over
got his
here.
head in his hands. He's scratching his own face off, running it through his beard.
Yeah.
That one hurt him. We're sorry. So Barry, that Yeah.
Yeah.
We're ready?
Yeah.
It's time for our other favourite segment, Kick It Out.
Kick it out. Come on, kick it out.
Kick it out.
This is where we all go around the room, have a bit of a general open debate about stuff that's in football that we've seen over the week or so that needs to stop. I'm going to kick us off. FA Cup semi-final. Saturday. Oh shit. There's another in the Sport Release swear box. Oh, that's £3 today. It's getting expensive, this. No.
It was supposed to be fun.
I didn't
costing
think.
me a
I thought
fortune.
I'd be alright. I'm terrible. Anyway. It's 5 past. It's whatever time it kicked off. I don't know. Arsenal Wigan. Lovely summer's day. Lovely summer's afternoon. Go to start playing. Pink ball. Pink ball.
Oh, is it the mango ball?
Yeah. Different colour balls when it's sunny and in the day. Now, I don't want to come across as racist. This isn't. But we should keep footballs white if it's light.
Why is it pink?
Exactly. I'm like,
It's
where's
been
that ball?
pink all the
Pink.
way. It's been that mango
It's the
colour
FA
all
Cup
the way
ball.
through.
This
the FA
ball was
Cup, it's
pink.
like-
An FA Cup semi-final ball, pink.
Should be
Pink.
like that for the final as well, isn't it?
Oh, I hope not, because we will have mentioned it now, and the FA will realise that it needs to be kicked out. Does anyone want to stick up for the pink ball? I'll fight
No,
in the
didn't
street.
football start off as a pink ball?
No, it started off as a pig's bladder.
It's pink, innit?
Orange, right?
I don't know. Kind of.
Right.
What colour's a pink bladder?
A pig's
A
black.
pink
colour's
bladder
a
is
pink
pink.
bladder?
Why,
Yeah,
why,
it's pink.
why would I know?
Because you're...
Could have been, you know,
You love pig's bladders.
always, you know.
You're always going on
Well,
about
it might have been, but that was when it were black and white, so we didn't have colours, so it were, you know what I mean?
There you go.
It was a shade of grey.
I did. I remember watching the semi-final, thinking the pink ball stood out to me. It was a bit odd.
Thank you, Barry.
That's all right. I'll stick up for you there.
Thank you.
right.
Have you got anything to kick it out?
I have. It's on the same relevance as well as the semi-finals of the FA Cup. In that kick it out, ITV football coverage.
Ooh, this might be a good one.
This is. I mean, there's no stats. There's no in-depth info. There's just a few blokes really that are scared of an Irish bloke. That's all that's really happening. I don't want to enter a competition, and I don't want to watch a load of adverts. It's just I just want to watch football with no distractions.
Is it better or worse than the BT coverage?
I
mean, the
profess
BT
not to have seen much BT coverage.
And that's my
BT's
point.
Alright. BT's alright. I mean, they're like Michael Owen's terrible, but at least they've got a pretend little football pitch where they pretend to like
At
mark
least they've
stuff
got
out.
a studio. For
They
me,
try.
ITV are always on the side of the pitch. I'm like,
It's rubbish. And
Was
like
it
Adrian Charles.
ITV when Bobby Savage got hit by the football?
nah, I think that was the babe.
No, I think he's on the beat. Yeah. But like there was once for a good few minutes, Adrian Charles just sat there talking to Lee Dixon with his arms crossed and his suit sleeves just came up by his elbows. And I was just like, don't get this on Sky Sports. Don't
Everyone's
see.
You
shy.
don't get Adrian Charles on Sky Sports.
Yeah, exactly. Wouldn't you? You don't see Jeff Stelling there sitting there with his arms folded. He was like, you want to be ready. You're ready to go. Anything might happen in football. Even at half time, anything might happen.
Yeah.
ITV.
Pain
football
Dog, have
coverage.
you got any
You don't-
protest against ITV football coverage?
No,
You'll lose
I
the
don't.
Champions League.
It's already going to BT.
Yeah, but you've just you've just brought BT up as
That's only because I just haven't seen it because I don't have BT Sport. So
Well, don't be sad. You're not missing out. Well, you are.
I'm
but-
probably going to be missing a lot soon.
yeah.
No, I won't be missing Adrian Charles.
No.
And
Good.
you know, if it wasn't for ITV, we wouldn't have had Ron Atkinson. Great, thanks
Think of all the
ITV.
memories they've
You
given
know,
us.
but then Sky Sports have given us
the finish.
keys and
Anyway.
so yeah.
So, pink footballs, ITV football coverage, Pain Dog.
I think I'm going to go for Mark Lawrenson's shirt.
Mark Lawrenson's shirts
I mean-
seem to be getting worse with age.
I mean,
I
Match-
see this one the other week.
Match,
with the
yeah,
massive
that
collar.
was one of the worst. That was a
Was that
worst
really high?
offender. I can't decide whether it's just Mark Lawrenson's shirts or Mark Lawrenson. that I want to kick
You
out.
don't know if it's clothes or
Well,
so you'd
both,
have him.
innit?
I
So you'd have him topless.
give me
on
an inch,
the-
I'll take a mile. You know?
Was it that week they had that on?
It was the
and he was
Illuminous
getting
as well.
Absolutely annihilated.
Oh,
by,
when he had the City shirt on,
yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Yeah,
He
he
was
was,
getting
yeah.
annihilated by
In
He's-
fact,
he's getting
Chappers had his head in his hands, a bit
I-
like producer
the
Payne
thing-
Dog had his head
Oh,
in his
that's
hands.
Chappers, isn't it? Yeah, of course.
Thing is, though, I mean, match of the day it gets a bit slated. Sometimes
Especially
rightly
when
so
you
as
put Paul
well.
Ince.
Sometimes rightly so. And I mean, if you didn't have Mark Lawrenson's shirt, would it be blander?
Would you have him topless though?
No, I'd just not have him.
Oh right, well it's Mark Lawrenson then, isn't it?
He's just getting a little bit too cocky, isn't he? With his,
Just
his shirt
keep him on
choices,
Football
his-
Focus doing the predictions with the celebrities.
Yeah, stick him on at 12:10. Not you don't need to be seen
And Hansen.
on a Saturday night.
Hanson's they've decreased at least.
Yeah, they're shipping
Anson's
out,
been decriminalised and he's.
I was
But
quite.
I think
I was
Sky are going in the right direction. I don't think BBC getting it right.
I was quite upset when Dixon went to ITV Sport. ITV Sport.
Well, it's
Because
gone
he was.
now, it's
I
gone.
know. Has he gone from ITV as
No,
well?
we just kicked ITV.
Oh, well, right,
coverage
well, Dixon's
football.
out altogether then.
Dixon's
It's
gone.
done, mate.
Right.
Dixon, King.
Can we
Giles.
bring him back to the BBC? Because I didn't mind Dixon.
Send him his P6.
And he's a City fan.
Well, that's not in my thoughts, but
Fair enough. No, that's good. That's good, Payne. I like it. Anything else?
nothing worth talking about.
Okay. Fair enough. He's an honest man, if nothing else.
Yeah, it's
Sam, you've already had
I've already had quite a
Sam's things.
Sam's things.
something.
I've got some as well. It's called player ratings, but not just player ratings, inconsistent player ratings. And I've got some examples. Yaya Toure went off injured at the weekend, got 5
In what paper?
in the Sun. He
Right.
got 5, Toure.
Yeah.
In the Independent, he got not applicable.
Which is the better?
Clever.
Well, the Independent's right, but how can the Sun give him 5?
And who else got 5s? You know,
Start.
of the players that
Sturridge.
finished the game.
Sturridge got a 5 as well.
Did anyone get worse? I mean, did
No,
anyone get
Sturridge
worse?
got- Sturridge got, yeah, Sturridge
Did
got
anyone
5.
get worse than a 5 and played the full game?
No. I
No.
mean, you start on
Company?
5, didn't you?
No, Company got 4 in the Independent, and Company got 5. Where's Company? 6.
You got 6.
6. Company at fault for 3 goals in the Sun.
Is
Get
the Sun?
6.
Is the Sun sports a City fan? So that's-
He must be. I'll read you out Cities. He must be a City fan. Hart 6. Zabaleta 7.
Oh.
Oh, police are back for Sam. Aye.
Sorry, I've got the new blinds. Got the new blinds. Pull the new blinds.
How did Navas do? Because he had a stinker.
Yeah, how did Navas get on? I'll read
I
you
don't think
all
we need
out.
to hear all of them, do we?
No, that's...
Well, Fernandinho got 7. Silva 8, I'd agree with that. Nasri 6. Zeko 6. Navas got 5. And he came on for Milner, who got an 8. Do you want to... I'll cross-reference in the Independent if you...
You're still proving your point.
Yeah. So, in the
So
Independent...
ultimately, Bobby, what are you calling for? Are you calling for a standardised player ratings that all
think-
papers across the board have to apply
Yeah.
to?
All it needs conference call.
Does anyone actually use them though?
Yeah, me.
For
Today.
this?
Yeah,
For-
but,
for
but
this.
would you? I don't look at ratings.
Well, me
Is it-
neither, but I did
I think-
today,
I
and I
think-
thought...
I
Only,
think,
only when I'm buying players on champ.
I think you're all right, Bob, because, you know, the paper, you know, printed paper's dying, so you're not going to get them for much longer anyway.
Good, because it's rubbish.
You can still put it on the internet.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but they don't tend to do that.
They do. Sometimes you find them for England games and they all get free.
Well, that's fair enough. They need a good kicking.
But yeah, that really annoyed me for some reason, but it's obviously just me. So, never mind. Anything else for Kick It Out?
I think that's it for the week.
I
isn't
think
it?
that's it for the week. We are done here. Our work here is done.
We finished on a high.
If you've lasted this long, if you've got to the end of the hour, I'd
Think
like
it's
to
long.
say thank you, or there's some bonus stuff for you, but they're in. We're just going to say bye. So, say goodbye, Barry.
Bye, Barry.
Say goodbye, Sam.
Bye, Barry.
Say goodbye, Penny.
Goodbye.
And I will hopefully see you next week, all being well.
Well, some of the crowd are on the pitch.
Bye. Bye.
Chewbacca came in.
Bye.